Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got an extra mission for you guys, which is Wolf Mountain, and this is Assassinate the Fuhrer. So almost every single Sniper Elite mission, there's a Kill Hitler mission, and Sniper Elite 5 has that as well. So Assassinate the Fuhrer, July 13th, 1944. Karl Fairborn orders infiltrates the Berghof perimeter and ends the war with one shot. Now this is based on a real-life operation called Operation Foxley, which was actually a real plan for a sniper to actually kill Hitler at the Berghof, this exact same place. And I'm gonna talk about the real history as well. So anyways, let's do this mission, and we're gonna be using the Kar 98 for this mission because the Kar 98 was actually the rifle that was gonna be used actually for the assassination. Let's see here. Put on a, suppressor. Okay, this will be a little bit better. You know, that one's, a little bit more bullet drop, but, I think it'll be worth it because it's a little bit quieter. So we'll be running this class, so let's do it. Wolf Mountain, the Berghof, Bavarian Alps.
Adolf Hitler, leader of the Third Reich, is on vacation at his mountain retreat in Obersalzberg, Germany, to reflect on the ongoing Allied invasion of Europe. SOE want this to be the last time he's there. We've studied Hitler's routine. His daily ritual, traveling from the Berghof to the nearby tea house, is when he's most vulnerable. Taking the head off the snake won't end the war overnight, but it should force an early surrender from the rest of the Reich. The war will be over by Christmas.
So this is a real life place, and
chances like this, got to make the most of it. Now let's kill Hitler.
The Berghof was Hitler's mansion in the Bavarian mountains. Okay, where are we starting out here? Okay. Hitler's schedule is kept inside a safe in the depot. Hitler eats his breakfast inside the treehouse. Hitler ends his day alone in front of the fireplace. So, in real life, they actually planned on having a British sniper actually a paratroop into the Bavarian mountains, and the British sniper was actually supposed to be wearing a German mountain soldier uniform.
SOE is in contact with German officers unhappy with Hitler's command. They've managed to set up supply caches for me in some buildings nearby.
Hitler would have a routine schedule that he would follow, and at one point in the day, he would always be at the same spot at the same time, and I believe he'd be there without guards. It was some part where he would like walk a little bit in the woods, and that's where they plan on taking the shot.
Wir müssen noch mehr Fallen auslegen und sehen, ob die Person hineintappt, die die Zäune zerstört. Wer auch immer das ist, wird dafür bezahlen, was hier anrichtet.
I think there's also a few bonus objectives in this level. We're gonna take care of those too.
Was hast du noch mal bei dieser heruntergekommenen alten Hütte gesehen? Wenn ich es dir doch sage, ich habe etwas gesehen. Ein Licht im Keller. Ich bin hin, um es zu untersuchen. Aber da war nichts. Nur Geräusche von jemandem, der weggerannt ist. Ich bin hinterher, aber...
Aber du bist auf deinen Arsch gefallen und konntest nichts und niemanden finden. Tja, in deinen Schuhen möchte ich nicht stecken, wenn das ein Eindringling war.
Das wird nichts gewesen sein. Ich sehe es mir heute nochmal an. Vielleicht finde ich irgendwelche Einbruchsspuren.
So these conversations are a lot of times important, and you can listen in on them, and had the SS motto, "Loyalty is my honor," scribbled on the back of a photograph of his wife. My God. Okay, 79 meters. Whoa. Ah. Damn, I hate when that happens. Blow off his helmet and the dude's still alive, right? that's one down. Might be able to penetrate this. Yep, I was able to penetrate it. Okay. See if we can get up in that tower for a better position.
This fella's got something.
Smokes stinks of cigars. Okay, he has a key too. We got a guard up there with him too. Probably unlocks that door over there. Oh, and it looks like yeah, it looks like the resistance have left a cache there. But this is in France, this is in Germany. Yeah, there's a chance if I start taking... Oh, what's this? Make sure all soldiers understand a new radio system. From the desk of Brigadier Fuhrer Gautzmann, find and close the breakdown of the new radio system. It's nothing you don't already know, but just make sure the men understand its functionality. As the Allies start to capture airfields in France, their bombing raid operational range gets closer and closer. Our flak tower should deter them, but the radio's backup systems will be the real failsafe should the enemy attack. Both sites can operate independently to run communications in the arm. Their preservation and maintenance should be everyone's focus in the event of a raid. Some kind of communication system, okay.
Looks abandoned. Might be one of the supply camps. The radio shack for the whole area's forces. Put that out of commission, and they're isolated.
Okay. Start picking these guys off one by one. I could cut the tower's lines also. That's also an option.
Versehentlich ein Kabel gelöst? Nein, sieht alles gut aus. Vielleicht brüten wieder Vögel in der Antennenschüssel.
That's that taken care of. Okay. See if we can find some bolt cutters here. Satchel charge. What's this? July 13th, 1944. From the desk of Brigadier Fuhrer Gautzmann. Find and close the breakdown of the new radio system. It's nothing you don't already know, but just make sure the men... Oh wait, we read this. Following locations is to be reinforced as soon as possible. From the desk of Brigadier Fuhrer Gautzmann, with the Allies gaining territory in France, we run the risk of falling into their operational bombings ranges as they take control of any airfields. While we don't see this being an immediate problem, additional flag positions are to be constructed to reinforce the marked existence defenses in the hills to the south of the Berghof. I know the Fuhrer's arrival will draw our focus away from this for a while, but a reserve force is to continue construction at these locations and ensure our defenses are in order should we need them. Flak guns. Okay. Flag guns, those are used to shoot down planes. TNT, this might come in handy. Let's loot the officer. That key is probably to that building. Let's go check the resistance building. I do like how they put these like little resistance safe houses like in the game, and you can try to find them. Yep, that's why it's always worth looking for the key.
Supply cache. Better grab what I need and move on before any patrols take an interest.
Okay. Larger magazine and quieter. I'd rather have the extra power, personally. What do we got in here? Okay. Hoping there'd be like a wire cutter or something in here. I guess not. Okay. Now then, the radio equipment. Missing a crowbar. Check that building right up there. If there's no no crowbar in this area, then I'm just gonna shoot the wires. Damn, this guy's tough. Okay. That was close. Slow the regular round in here. Damn, why is infantry getting out right here? Okay, let's cut the alarm. Oh, damn, he's getting off the bike and searching too. Man, those guys in those vehicles can spot you so quickly, right? Okay, looks like he's just gonna drive away. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, just keep driving away. Come on. My God, these vehicles are... There's so many of them. Okay. No crowbars here too. Okay. We're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way then.
That cable. It must be the feed between the main radio hub and the reserve shack. Long grass. It's a better place to hide.
Yeah, I think I need armor-piercing rounds for this, yep.
Those 3 cables look like the radio masts. One more, and I'm done.
A little bit of a ruin over there. Take care of him. Okay, armor-piercing rounds. There we go. Radio communications are cut.
With the tower down, so is their communications.
Okay, let's get rid of the AAs. So many vehicles coming through here. Load some subsonic rounds just in case. Crowbar and bolt cutters, they were all back here. Whatever. Yeah, those guys out there, I'm not gonna kill them. Because the cars that are coming up the road will definitely see the bodies. Come on, come in here. What? Okay, get
This
those
will
bolt
help.
cutters. Okay. Oh, and there's a... Oh, this is gonna be really risky. Okay. So yeah, you don't wanna, you don't always want to kill, every single person.
Hast du den Lärm gehört? Schien aus dieser alten Hütte zu kommen. Du glaubst doch nicht, dass es darin spukt?
Dass es darin spukt? Du machst wohl Witze. Das sind nur wilde Tiere, Klaus. Ich hätte nicht gedacht, dass du so ein Angsthase bist.
Das stimmt vermutlich. Ich dachte nur, ich hätte fremde Stimmen gehört. Aber als ich nachgeschaut habe, konnte ich nichts finden.
So you heard that?
Hey, kein Grund, mich zu beleidigen.
They're talking about the resistance shack right there, that one that we found earlier. Is there something up here? No, okay. Okay, someone over there. Oh crap, cars. Okay. Put him right here. Okay. Oh, look, another resistance symbol. Okay. Okay, there's something back here. Oh, that was a quick gut reaction. Okay, we got him. That was close.
An old shack. Kind of place I was told might hide a supply cache. Let's see if my luck's in.
Okay. Search the other guy, he might have a key. No key? Okay.
Supply cache. Better grab what I need and move on before any patrols take an interest.
There's satchel charge, that'll be useful. Oh, I can just use the bolt cutters for this. Okay. Okay. Anything up here? Okay, we got a few of these guys over here. Put some subsonic rounds in just in case. The guy right behind this tent. Wonders if the stories about the Fuhrer's testicles are true. Oh man, that's basically the thing about that is that Hitler had only one testicle. He lost one testicle in World War I, and so in Sniper Elite, if you actually shoot him in the testicles, there will only be one there.
What's he got there? They're putting in crap guns. The invasion must have them worried. Should take them out.
Missing inventory. Something isn't adding up. We must investigate further. Brigadenführer Gautzmann. At last inventory check, it appears we're missing arms and munitions from the central Berghof armory. Considering the security checks already in place, it's possible the construction of the flag positions and the radio equipment has led to misplaced inventory. But we cannot rule out malicious intent. A squad will be sent to inspect all areas around the construction works and radio station until we find the missing equipment. The key for the central armory will not leave on my side going forward. Habstern Führer Walter. That guy, we can probably find that guy. Okay. Put him in here quick before another car comes. Artillery guns. The guy in the MG42, we'll just leave him back there, because if I drop him, they're gonna notice it. Okay, really hope they don't hear this. Yeah, they heard it. that's one of the guns taken out. And they have a gun positioned in the west. Probably over there, then. Should probably get out of this area, too, here. We took out the eastern gun, now there's just a western gun left. I just gotta sneak past these guys again. I know a lot of you guys have liked the way I play these games, like when I go quiet a lot of times, very tactically. But I'll talk about Operation Foxley a little bit. So basically, Operation Foxley was going to have a British sniper parachute into the Bavarian Alps and move up to the Hitler's Berghof compound dressed as a German mountain trooper. And there was supposed to be a Polish man there that spoke German fluently that was supposed to translate, and the sniper was also supposed to meet up with a contact who his nephew had worked as a soldier inside the Berghof, and both the nephew and the uncle really hated the Nazis, and so provided intel to the SOE about that. I think the uncle owned a bakery shop. I'm trying to remember the whole story, but so this was like a real event that was planned. And the sniper was going to make his way up to the compound and was going to take a shot on Hitler. But the reason this operation never happened, there's two reasons for it. The first reason is that by the time they finally finalized everything, it was like around November 1944, and the war would last for another 6 months in Europe. So, you know, in half a year, the war would be over in Europe. And Hitler, the last time Hitler visited the Berghof was like June, July of 1944, so this is the last time he was actually there. So it would have been impossible to kill him. The other reason that they didn't, the other reason they decided to not, assassinate him... Oh, wait, watch out, gotta watch out here, this guy's almost spotting me. Okay. Man, this guy's getting a little annoying here. Okay, so the reason that the other reason that the Allies decided not to assassinate Hitler was because they were scared that if they assassinated Hitler, that Hitler might become a martyr, because a lot of Germans were very brainwashed this time. You know, this is like, you know, similar to North Korea today, how a lot of North Koreans are brainwashed and believe that Kim Jong-un is this, you know, crazy god and their leader, and that they have to swear supreme loyalty to him. It was very similar in Germany. A lot of Germans were brainwashed, and if they were scared that if they killed Hitler, that some other Nazi general might take over, and that they might use Hitler's death as a martyr to continue the war for longer. Basically, there was 3 other Nazis that were fanatically loyal to Hitler. There was Goebbels, who was the Ministry of Propaganda. There was the Hermann Göring, who was the head of the Luftwaffe. And actually, I think in Hitler's will, I think he named Göring as his second in command if something happened to him. And Göring's second in command was revoked like 2 weeks before the war ended. Basically, he sent a telegram to Hitler in his bunker telling him that he's ready to take over, and Hitler saw it as him trying to take power from him and tried to have him arrested over that. And then there was Himmler, who was he was the leader of the SS. So these are, you know, 3 other really bad guys, and all fanatically loyal to Hitler. And if Hitler was killed, one of those other guys might take over. And at the same time, when Hitler was running Germany, he was making a lot of really stupid mistakes, a lot of really stupid tactical mistakes. Hitler believed that he was something like Napoleon, that he was, you know, a military genius, when in reality he was an idiot. He made a lot of really dumb mistakes. For instance, he was completely convinced that the Allies were not going to land at Normandy. He was convinced that they were going to land at another place. I'm trying to remember the other place in France. But he also had it where Hitler would wake up really late in the day. He would wake up at like around 1 p.m. and he had strict orders not to wake him up no matter what. Nobody was allowed to wake him up. And what happened was very early in the morning when the Allies landed at Normandy, everybody was scared to wake him up, to tell him what was going on. And then when the Allies had landed at Normandy, Hitler first believed it was a trick. He's like, oh, they're just trying to trick me. They're not really invading Normandy. And the German command had Tiger tanks, a squad of Tiger tanks that were, I think, like 20 miles away from Normandy. And they had asked Hitler to send the Tiger tanks in. They were getting overrun. Hitler basically told them no. And he said that it's a trick, that they're not really landing at Normandy. And then by the time Hitler realized that it wasn't a trick and they were actually invading Normandy, it was too late. Normandy was already taken. That was only one of Hitler's stupid tactical mistakes. But, you know, the guy was an idiot. You know, he was an evil man, but not only was an evil man in the cycle, he was also a tactical idiot. Hitler also caused his entire army to be destroyed at Stalingrad. Basically, what happened was the second the snow kicked in Stalingrad, the Germans had pretty much lost. They could have taken Stalingrad in like August, September, possibly even October, but November, when the Soviet reinforcements came, it started getting cold, their supplies got cut off, they had no chance to take Stalingrad at that time. And Paulus, who was the general in charge of the operation at Stalingrad, what ended up happening was he was actually begging Hitler to be allowed to retreat. Paulus understood how bad get rid of this guy here. Paulus understood how bad the situation was and that they had no chance. And what basically Hitler said no and told them that they are to stay and hold their positions and that they will take Stalingrad. In Hitler's mind, there was no such thing as retreat. Retreat did not exist in his mind whatsoever. It was any form of retreat he saw as cowardice. And the smart generals know that sometimes retreats are important, because if you stay in a bad position for too long, your entire force can get destroyed, crippled by supplies, other factors, weather, and sometimes it's better to retreat and regroup into different positions. And that's what Paulus was begging Hitler to be able to regroup, but Hitler told him no. And what actually ended up happening was, I think 2 weeks before Paulus surrendered, Hitler had promoted Paulus to field marshal. And the reason that Hitler promoted Paulus to a field marshal was because in German history, there has never been a time in German history where a German field marshal has actually surrendered. That has never happened in German history. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. And the only reason that Hitler promoted Paulus to field marshal was so that Paulus would either kill himself or go down fighting. But Paulus at that point basically said, you know what, screw this. We're not going to die for this maniac. This is just stupid. And he surrendered. And he did the right thing by surrendering. So it was just, if Paulus continued to fight, every single German soldier under his command would have died. And so Paulus became, big anti-Nazi, while he was in Soviet captivity. He realized how much of a maniac Hitler was. But those are only like a few mistakes that I'm talking about, guys. Like the mistake at Stalingrad, the Normandy, he miscalculated the whole Normandy landings. Basically, the Allies knew that Hitler was making a lot of really stupid mistakes. And when Operation Valkyrie happened, that was the movie. A lot of people think of that, but Operation Valkyrie was a real event. Where Stauffenberg, saying his name correctly, and a bunch of other, German officials tried to blow Hitler up at his bunker in modern-day Poland. And what happened was, after Hitler had survived that assassination attempt, Hitler had this, was a very, very crazy guy, that he was convinced that he was some kind of supernatural force. He was convinced that it was his destiny to lead Germany, and that he was going to win this war, and that he was going to conquer Europe, and that he could not be defeated. He could not make a mistake. And after that assassination attempt happened, he doubled down on that. He was fully convinced that nothing could touch him, that he was invincible. So I see like this, we don't surrender, we keep fighting until our last dying breath. So like the a lot of Germans were very brainwashed in this regard, back then. Let's see here, put soft point ammo in.
Führer will Flachs. Also bauen wir die verdammten Flachs auf. Und wir werden nicht aufgeben.
Gonna have to take these guys out very fast. Oh, great. Okay, there we go. That's taken care of at least. Okay. So what I was saying is that, Hitler was convinced that he was some kind of god and that he was, he could not fail no matter what. And the Allies used this to their advantage. Basically, because Hitler was making so many stupid mistakes, I'm trying to think of another really dumb mistake that he did. I know there was a few more. There's actually a lot of them. He did this in late 1944. He tried to do this massive push at the Battle of the Bulge, and he was hoping that would knock the U.S. out of the war, which that failed. The Germans had sent hundreds of thousands of troops, and they pushed the Americans back a little bit, but they didn't have enough fuel for their tanks. And that's one of the factors that really cost them that battle. But also, like, in the last 2 weeks of the war, FDR, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President of the U.S., passed away. And what happened was, the second that Roosevelt passed away, Hitler got all excited, and he was, like, convinced, he's like, oh, the U.S. is gonna, get out of the war now. They're not going to fight us anymore. That's how delusional and stupid Hitler was. He thought that just because FDR died, that somehow that meant that the U.S. was going to stop fighting him. When Truman took over right after that, there's a chain of command. It's the vice president that's next. That's how stupid Hitler was. And there was that scene, that scene that, like, a lot of people see in, like, the movies, when they, there's that movie, Downfall, which is, like, the last 2 weeks of, like, of Hitler's life in the bunker, and people make memes out of that all the time, like, they make those parodies, the Hitler Rants parodies. That scene was actually a real scene, where he was, like, in the room, and he went on this big rant, and all this other stuff. That actually happened, and the whole reason he went on that rant was because, up until that point, Hitler was convinced that Germany could win the war. Even when the Soviets were on the outskirts of Berlin, it was pretty much all over. They had no chance of winning. Hitler was still confident that Germany was somehow going to win the war. That's how delusional he was. And basically, the whole reason he went on that rant was because he ordered Steiner to make this big counteroffensive. So Steiner was supposed to get a huge amount of troops and try to flank the Soviet position. Steiner wasn't able to get enough troops together, and the attack never happened. It was impossible for the attack to happen. But somehow Hitler was hoping that this attack would somehow turn the entire Soviet army around, which the Soviet army was in millions. Germany probably had under 1 million troops at that point. Under 1 million. All across, Germany. Berlin, I think, only had how many, like a little bit over, like, maybe 200,000 troops, probably more than that. I could be wrong on that, but the Soviets outnumbered the Germans so much at the Battle of Berlin, and somehow Hitler thought that this Steiner's counterattack was somehow going to turn the whole thing around, and then when they told him the attack didn't happen, that was the first time that Hitler finally admitted that he had lost the war, and then, like, shortly afterwards, he got married to Eva Braun. He took, like, a cyanide capsule, and both him and Eva Braun shot themselves. So that was, and the reason he bit on the cyanide capsule and shot himself was because he was scared that the cyanide capsule wouldn't work. So that's, and, leading up into my conversation on this, I read a lot of history, for people that are wondering. So I studied a lot of history, read a lot of it, and World War II is one subject that I know really well. And now going back to Operation Foxley in this regard, the reason that the Allies did not assassinate Hitler, in the end, all of this stuff that I told you, the first reason, it was impossible to kill him at the Berghof, because the last time he was there was July, and by the time they finally finalized it, it was November of 1944. So he would never be at the Berghof again. Second reason is because Hitler was such a stupid commander, he was such a dumb commander, he was making so many mistakes, and if they killed him, one of the other German generals could take over. And those other German generals were much smarter than him. Because Hitler took a lot of credit for the war, and Hitler, when he went on that rant, he said that he conquered all of Europe on his own, when in reality, Hitler had no commanding experience, none of that. He was just a dictator. During World War I, he was a corporal. He was never in any kind of NCO or officer position. He was never in any kind of commander position, and he thought that he was a military genius. He thought that he was Napoleon. These guys are, you know, getting a little bit annoying here. Might have to start clearing some of these enemies out. The reason that Germany managed to conquer so much of Europe, it wasn't because Hitler was some kind of tactical genius. It was because the generals under his command were very smart. And also, Germany had one of the largest armies in Europe, and they also had very advanced technology at the time. That's the reason that Germany was able to conquer huge amounts of Europe. Hitler was just a moron, and he didn't allow his generals to plan. Now, Stalin, on the other hand, the dictator of the Soviet Union, Stalin had purged a lot of the Soviet generals in the 1930s because Stalin was convinced that there was some plot out to get him. And what ended up happening was, because of all the purges, Stalin killed off some of his really good generals, and then when the Soviet Union got invaded, they got overrun very early in the war. But then Stalin quickly realized that he can't interfere in his generals' plans, and so he would demand updates from his generals, but he no longer really purged them, and he wouldn't interfere in them. So the purges of the generals happened like in the 30s, but then afterwards, when the war, you know, when the Soviet Union got invaded, Stalin stopped interfering in his generals' plans and let them plan. He did demand updates, but he didn't do it like Hitler, where Hitler was just constantly like interfering in his generals' plans and telling them what they can and can't do. So basically, to sum it up, what I'm saying here is the second reason the Allies didn't assassinate Hitler was because he was causing Germany to lose faster than any other person in command. Because of all the stupid mistakes he was making, they knew he was going to keep making dumb mistakes, more and more. And they knew that if they didn't kill him off, they'd win the war faster. So they were scared that if they did kill him off, somebody else would take over. Like, there was Rommel. Rommel was known as the Desert Fox, you know, that German commander in North Africa. He ended up killing himself, I think it was October of 1944, after he was accused of being in the Valkyrie plot. But, let me get rid of this guy here. But imagine if Rommel took over. If Rommel took over command and had full command of the German army, that would have been really, really bad. Because Rommel was very intelligent, and that the war could have gone on for a very long time. I don't think they could have won the war. By 1944, Germany had already lost the war. They had really no chance. But if another German general took over, the war could have gone on for months more in Europe. Man, okay, this guy's getting annoying here. I'm gonna get rid of him. Go through here. So that's ultimately the reason on why Operation Foxley didn't go through, is because they couldn't kill him anymore, because he wasn't at the Berghof anymore, and because Hitler was such a moron and an idiot when it came to tactics, that they knew that he was going to cause Germany to lose faster than if somebody else took over. Okay, now we cut through here. Car coming in.
Be harder to spot me in that grass.
But I can probably have a lore video on this, because I know a lot of you guys love it when I talk history in these videos, and so I could probably have a lore video talking about Operation Foxley and how the operation was meant to happen, all that other stuff. I could, you know, sum it up what I've been saying here. Also, it's unknown exactly who the sniper was. The sniper that was supposed to kill Hitler, it's unknown who that sniper was. That was never revealed. In this game, it's Karl.
That tunnel's the route the Germans use. Direct, but guarded.
There's a tunnel into the compound.
Even
Hitler's
so,
schedule is
there
kept
might
in
be a
sight
way
as
to get
safe.
through.
Okay. The reason that I take so long on my shots, guys, is because I want to make sure I hit the target. I don't want to miss.
Werft ihn ab. Das ist unser Land. Verteidigt es.
I'm gonna have to clean these bodies up. Okay, not good. Yeah, this isn't good right here. This is bad. Let's wait till they move. This is really bad right now, yeah. This is really bad.
Kerl entkommt uns nicht.
Nearly out of bullets.
Damn. Where is he? Okay. Okay, time to clean this mess up. Okay. This guy is shot in the grass, so he's already hidden. What? Karl can't jump over this wall? Are you kidding me? Cars are going to come through this checkpoint, and that's going to be really bad. Okay, how he didn't see that body, I don't know, but I'm not questioning it right now. Okay, he's suspicious, but he's driving off. Okay. What's in here?
Nothing else.
The Fuhrer is here to relax, not to be gawked at. July 13th, 1944, from the desk of Brigadenführer Gautzmann, to reiterate the standing orders of the day. With the Fuhrer on site, his own security detail will escort him on his daily routine to the treehouse and back to the Berghof. Security details of both sites are still in operation, and a sweep has been done of the Fuhrer's private lakeside hut, but no one is to be there while he is. He will end the day in the Berghof, whose security will remain on standby. While we cannot relax, that is the entire purpose of the Fuhrer's visit. He is not to be bothered under any circumstances. Okay. That sniper might have some useful intel. Decoy, okay. Open this. Nothing? Okay. Okay. This tunnel will get us right in there. Okay. Man, the footsteps in this place are so loud.
There it is, the Berghof. Hitler's little home away from home. The views are to die for.
I gotta get this guy out of the tunnel because the moment a car drives in here, it's gonna see the body and start getting suspicious. So I gotta move the body again. But another thing that Allied Command understood that Germany was brainwashed really badly, and basically they knew that there was gonna be that they were gonna have to denazify Germany after the war. And one of the most important things about denazifying Germany was that the German people needed to see for their own eyes that Hitler was not a god, and they needed to see that he could be defeated, and he has to lose, and he has to lose bad. And so the German people needed to see that he wasn't this perfect god that was not going to fail, that he can fail, and he can lose. Great. Great, they're all coming over here. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. I am so lucky right now they didn't run further in the tunnel. Okay, I'm really lucky. Crap, truck. Okay. Refuse to believe the stories about the Fuhrer's testicles. Those traitors are spreading lies about the Fuhrer's testicles. My god. Keeps asking Julian Dier for a picture of his wife? What? That's... Some of the stuff that you'll read, you're like, you read these about these guys and you're like, what the hell? Oh, no. Might have to shoot the guys on the motorcycle. How they didn't see that body, I don't know, but I'm not gonna question it right now. So this is the Berghof. Now, about this is, I know I'm gonna have some people that are gonna probably ask me in the comments, because Hitler saw himself as this, perfect, genius that was never going to make mistakes. And, I know I'm gonna have people asking me, because he would talk about destiny all the time in his, in his stupid speeches. He would talk about how it's his destiny and all this other stuff. And you can't really talk, I guess you can't really talk about destiny without mentioning a little bit of religion. And so people I know are probably gonna ask me in the comments, for professional, what was Hitler's religion? It's a very debated subject. Very debated. Hitler's religion, it's really unknown. People don't really know what he believed. It's one of the most debated things in history, and one of the most controversial things is Hitler's religion. Now, what we do know about a little bit about Hitler's background is that his mother was a devout Catholic, but his father was an atheist, and his father really hated Christianity. And his father had basically told Hitler that Christianity makes people weak. That's so that's he was raised by a devout Catholic mother and by an atheist father. But when Hitler was after World War I, there's no record of Hitler attending any kind of church mass or any kind of church gathering. Now, when Hitler came to power, he did mention God a bit in his speeches, and he did he mentioned Christianity, but he would call himself a German Christian. That's what he would refer to himself as. Now, man, this guy's a bit annoying. Gotta go down here. So he referred to himself as a German Christian, and Hitler, in reality, really hated Christianity. But I wouldn't say he was an atheist either. It's somewhere in the middle. It's unknown exactly what it is, but I see, oh my god, this guy, I'm gonna kill this guy in a moment here. This guy's getting really annoying.
Damn it. Almost out of ammo.
Moment mal.
Yeah, this guy was just giving me problems and problems. Wait till this guy turns around. Maybe we'll just leave the body there. I don't think anyone will see it. Hopefully not. Actually, now I'll just get it off the hill here. Wait till he turns around there. But like I was saying, is that Hitler hated Christianity, so he would mention Christianity in his speeches, and he would talk about God. But at the time that Hitler ruled Germany, Germany was about 1/3 Catholic and about 2/3 Protestant. I think only 1% of Germans were atheists at the time, and then I think around 3% of Germans, I believe, and these are a lot of these SS guys. A lot of the SS guys believed in the ancient German pagan gods. So, and if you look at the Nazi Party officials, a lot of them were very anti-Christian in their stuff. I wouldn't say that they were atheists, but a lot of them were very anti-Christian. Some of them, like Himmler, had promoted the ancient German gods and paganism and all that other stuff. Man, this guy is just not moving here. I really hope he doesn't see me when I move this guy here. I believe that Hitler also admitted to Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, that, him just talking about Christianity was all for show. But when you see what Hitler did, how he discriminated against Christians, and Hitler actually planned on doing something about Christianity after the war. And so he did sign some kind of decree with the Vatican, but he heavily discriminated against Catholics, and a lot of priests were murdered by the Nazis. So, you know, I see, like, you know, people will say that, like, you know, there will be Christians that will say that Hitler was an atheist, and there will be, you know, there will be atheists that will say that Hitler was a Christian, but in reality, it's somewhere in the middle. You know, Hitler hated Christians. I wouldn't say that he was a Christian, but I wouldn't say he was an atheist either. My belief is he probably worshipped the ancient German gods. That's probably what I think. But it's like I said, Hitler's religion is really unknown. There's all these historians that argue, like, one historian will say he's an atheist, one historian will say that he's non-religious, one historian will say that he was a Christian, so, like, all of this stuff. But, you know, I don't know personally why people are so obsessed with saying that he was either an atheist or saying that he was a Christian. The guy was an evil psycho. You know, that's all that, you know, that's pretty much there. You know, I don't know why people are, you know, going to such lengths to try to name him either as a Christian or as an atheist. Okay. So Hitler is gonna come down here. This is the tree house. So I think we'll probably wait for him here. If I just sit here, he'll probably show up.
This?
Okay.
This grass could make some useful cover.
Also, another thing about his religious views, I remembered that Hitler would deny that Jesus was Jewish. He would claim that Jesus was Aryan when Jesus was Jewish. So it's that's also another thing about some of Hitler's religious views. But it's like I said, you know, his whole, you know, what his religion was is completely unknown. Like, we know, for instance, other dictators, like Mussolini was an atheist. We know that 100%. We know Stalin was an atheist. Mao Zedong was an atheist. But we don't know what Hitler's religious views are. It's unknown. But, you know, it's like I said before, I don't know why people are so obsessed with, you know, trying to say that he was either a Christian or an atheist. What's important is he was just an evil psycho. That's just it. He's just a bad man. One of the worst human beings in history.
Need more bullets. Slope in line with Hitler's favorite bench. I can see possibilities here.
Oh. Interact? Okay, so Hitler would show up here. I can just knock the truck on him then. Okay. Okay, now all we have to do is find him. And also another history thing. For people wondering what happened to the Berghof, is Hitler's mansion, does it still exist? No, it doesn't. After World War II, the German government had blown up the entire mansion. It's just been reduced to rubble, and that was part of their denazification process. It was a good thing that they destroyed the house. So it was I don't know if I have to go up the hill to what's this? Attention all maintenance staff, the Fuhrer has graced us with his presence earlier than expected. As such, the construction work was taking place near the tree house has been halted mid-project. The risk presented by the current state of the construction are minimal, but the equipment on site is to be secured to ensure everyone's safety. In addition, all equipment being stored by the hill overlooking the Fuhrer's quarters is to be kept secured and out of sight. The Fuhrer doesn't need the sight of construction equipment spoiling his view while he's sitting on the bench. Okay, let's get a little closer to the Berghof, because I don't know, if I wait here, will he eventually come down here, or do I have to go up there to trigger him moving? That's what I'm curious about. What's this here? Crux. Why are these guys suspicious all of a sudden? I don't think I'll be able to go in through here. There's just too many guards. Oh, find Hitler? Oh, there he is.
Running low on ammo.
What does it
Adolf
say?
Hitler. There he
Tyrannical
is.
despot and failed artist. I'm going to wait for him to move. Okay. Why is he just standing there right now? Okay, I could take a shot right here, but...
Low on ammo.
So guys, it looks like my my game is like partially glitched, where Hitler is just standing still. He's not moving back there. But we're going to get rid of him a really crazy way then. Gotta deal with some of these fools over here. Okay, it's that guy. Okay. Now then, we climb right up here. This should be Hitler's room in the Berghof. Okay. Okay, this is his office. $307 meters. You guys think I can make the shot? One bullet can change history. There we go. Evil dictator down. Beautiful. 300-meter shot.
Target's down. Now they get the hell out of here before they put the whole place in lockdown.
Okay. How am I gonna escape? Okay, this area is more protected. Okay, is less protected, I should say. Let's get down here and get out of here now. So I think there's a glitch with him in this mission where he sometimes gets stuck and just won't move and just stand in the same place. He stood there for half an hour for me. So I didn't want to, show half an hour of that, so I just ran over here, and I figured I'm going to take a really long shot on him, and I can probably get him from the balcony. And I was right, I did get him from the balcony. Now I just gotta get through this. We're almost home free, we're so close.
Moment mal.
Kill him before he's around the side of the gate. Okay. What do we got here? Might be able to sneak past these guys. Wait for it. Come on. Oh, I had zeroed into 300 meters still. Okay. Wait for it again. Perfect shot. We'll get it in a moment here. double kill. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we escape. Okay. Okay, clear. Let's get out of here. We did it. Oh man, yeah. Only disappointing thing was that I wasn't able to kill him in a special way, but still got him. But I'll do a video showing all the special ways to kill him.
Fairburn has successfully escaped from hostile forces. Panicked reports intercepted from Nazi High Command confirm his reports from the field.
Wiederhole! Der Führer wurde von einem Attentäter angegriffen. Es werden dringend Notärzte am Berghof gebraucht.
We'll find out in the coming weeks just how successful this mission was, and whether or not Hitler has been taken out of the war, or if one of his doubles pulled the wool over our eyes again.
So we got that alarm trace 0, detection score 32. We did pretty good. 58 kills, quiet. So I think we did pretty good there. So thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun with Sniper Elite 5. Definitely my favorite game so far of 2022. So thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun on this. I mean, who doesn't like killing an evil dictator, right? So thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.